Standing by with Alan Hahn.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Clyde. Karl-Anthony Towns, how important was it to get back on the winning track after a couple of losses just to feel that dub again?
I mean, it's great for the vibes, great for the team, great for the city. Every win means a lot, so to get on the right side is good.
Assistant coach Andy Greer told me at halftime, you make scoring look easy. Does it feel easy some nights?
I work really hard on my game, so what you call easy is a lot of hours of work I put in.
Speaking of guys who put in hours, Patrick Ewing sitting baseline, watching you work tonight. You guys make eye contact a couple of times. What's that mean to you to perform in front of him?
I mean, that's the legend. That's the man who built Mecca. So for me to grow up and watch him play, and for him to now watch me play in the Mecca is a humbling experience.
All right, thanks very much, Kat. 27 points, 13 rebounds. Karl-Anthony Towns and the Knicks get the win. Tyler, Clyde?
Thank you, Alan. Gotta love that from Karl-Anthony Towns. He knows this fan base because he's one of us. He's a Knicks fan. And it must have been really cool for him to do that in front of Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, he's a student of the game, so he knows the game, the play, the legends who made the game.
The Experience Amazing Play of the Game is presented by Lexus, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Knicks.
OG showing his kleptomania tonight, getting into the passing lane. Yeah, tantalizing, mesmerizing.
Remember, this is against his old team. He seems to always bring it every single night.
You mentioned Shamet, 8 points for him. That's a Knicks high. This is the 200th win for Tom Thibodeau as Knicks coach. Key number, three-point shooting. We talked about the last 8 games, the Knicks shooting 29% from downtown. Much better tonight, Wally, at 12 for 33. You see the rest of the numbers. And what really helped three-point shooting, OG Anunoby, who over his last 20 games from 3, shooting like 28%. Tonight, 4 of 6 from downtown as he goes for those 27 points.
Yeah, that's a great sign, and it happens because you have such a big-time threat back in the lineup in Karl-Anthony Towns. And Karl-Anthony Towns draws a lot of defense. OG Anunoby is not the guy that's going to get a lot of plays called for him, but I love the way he hustled down the floor. He got a couple easy buckets just by running hard in transition. Then when you get those kind of points, then the threes start to fall. The defense is always outstanding. Just complete lockdown D on R.J. Barrett and company with his active hands. But look at these open shots. I mean, this is great ball movement. This is the Knicks turning really good defense into early offense. Those type of plays when other teams try to guard Anunoby with a smaller defender, he's got to take advantage. He stole, I like to liken it to, he stole 10 points tonight. So of his points, 10 of them were just points that you didn't expect. You didn't have to run a play for him. You didn't have to get him an assist. He just found himself 10 points by taking advantage of mismatches in transition. Those type of things really help a player like him get going offensively.
All right, so Anunoby 27, Cat 27. Monica Mcnutt helped call the game on ESPN New York, the radio broadcast. She now joins us. Monica, what do you think about the victory tonight?
Last part again, Peter. What do I think about who?
The win. The
win. Okay, got it. Great. You get back. First of all, I love wins when you have the opportunity to allow the starters for this unit to get some rest. And so I think taking care of business so that the bench could come in for that last 245, considering what's ahead this weekend, is a big deal. Also, three-point shooting. In the last 3 games, the three-point shooting difference from the first half, three-point efficiency from the first half to the second half, dropped like 20 percentage points. It goes from in the 30s to 14. And so to see this team be able to hit threes in both halves, I think is a good sign. And Coach Tom Thibodeau said at pregame that, shooting is sometimes you hit slumps, and that's part of the game. And so I like the way that overall this team shot the ball. Obviously, you want to see Mikal and Jalen get a little bit more efficient. But I think there was a lot of good tonight, including the defense in the second part of the third quarter and into the fourth.
Monica, Cat is back, and boy, does he make a difference in this Knicks team, doesn't he?
Wally, undeniable, okay? The Cat impact beyond the double-double, which speaks for itself in terms of his productivity, his gravity and the way that he can pass guys open off of cuts and such, the way that defenses have to shift and load to him. You could see at points the puzzle that he posed for Rajakovic and his staff, because Scotty Barnes was guarding him at one point instead of Jacob Hurtle. And so I think that firepower, when the Knicks are at their best, it is when Karl-Anthony Towns is on the floor, and that's not even up for discussion.
Monica, we talked a lot in the pregame about the Knicks bench. Wally and I mentioned before you came on, Landry Shamet, best game as a Knick in terms of points, at least, with 8. He made a very valuable contribution tonight.
Yeah, and Pat and I were tracking this on the radio as well. You'll look and say, okay, 14 bench points, cool. But when you look at the time that they were on the floor, they were able to extend the leads out, right? There was a stretch where we literally talked about this in the first half, and the lead seemed to dwindle, but by the time you looked up, it was back to that 10-point margin that was the largest margin, at least in the first half of the ball game. So I think you saw good investments, good opportunities to help build some confidence both ways for the guys when they step on the floor and for the coaching staff to know that they can beat on the floor.
All right, Monica, as always, we appreciate it. We will see you on Friday night.
Sounds good.
I mentioned Shamet with Monica, and important for him tonight because, again, Deuce McBride's still out. 5th straight game missed with a bad hamstring.
Yeah, and Tom Thibodeau loves his defense. I look, he's coming off an injury, so timing, shot making, stuff like that, that's going to come. But I'm watching the way he's moving out there on the floor. He glides out there on the floor. He's known for his defense. He can guard multiple positions, and he has good size for a guard. So he's not going to get overpowered, and he's not going to get outsized. I think that's one thing Tom Thibodeau loves about him. You love to see, though, a couple buckets here and there, making quick decisions, quick moves, because he's always going to be a safe play on the defensive end of the floor. It's good to get some buckets, though, to fall.
All right, Jalen Brunson, again, didn't need to do a lot for the Knicks to win. 13 points, did have 7 assists and 6 rebounds, but it was Cat and OG Anunoby leading the way. Josh Hart, by the way, had 21. Tom Thibodeau's postgame comments, his 200th win, his reactions coming up.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
We can just...
Xin chào tất cả các bạn. Chào mừng các bạn đã đến với kênh YouTube của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ làm một chiếc video là tô màu những sản phẩm, hoa quả, con vật, đồ vật, vân vân. Nếu các bạn chưa biết sản phẩm gì đúng không, thì hãy xem hết video và để lại một cái like và một lượt subscribe để mình có thể tiếp tục động lực ra video nhé. Và bây giờ các bạn hãy xem hết video để biết đó là sản phẩm gì nhé. Bây giờ các bạn cùng mình đi tô màu nào.
Bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp tô vào nhé các bạn ơi.
Bây giờ mình sẽ xỏ vào